today is the 9th of June, and I'm using the Star Tarot deck. And here's the book that comes along with it. It's worth it. It is a really nice, somebody went to a lot of effort here to make a really nice deck and book to go along with it. I endorse it. Yes. I give this a good 9 out of 10 decks. Okay. So we're going to be looking at Donald Jr. And just like we did with Ivanka and checking in with her, we're just going to check in with him and see what the cards and the universe, the creator, want to reveal. And I'm asking them to show us what we need to be aware of. Especially given our concerns that this family face being legally brought to justice and not helped under some antiquated notion. I'm sorry, I'm still annoyed with Merrick about that, but I don't agree with it. It's a horrible idea. All right. But anyhow, letting go of that, moving on. Let's see what Donald Jr.'s up to, what his guides may want to share with us. It must be very difficult for them. So let's just take a look. Now, I don't have the same deck at hand. I've misplaced it temporarily. I thought, oh yes, I'm going to put this back in its box, and I tucked it away, and with the situation here, I placed it in a spot where, yeah, so good I can't find it. I think it's just right directly. Well, I don't know, so I'll have to find out. Anyhow, let's just continue. We're going to be looking at Donald Jr. Donald Jr. Trump. Or Donald Trump Jr. What do we need to be aware of? What is around him energetically? How are things, what do we need to be aware of? Okay, let's just see what we get. We get the Seven of Wands. It's a position of trying to defend, and it can be like where he's digging down deep for strength to defend himself. But he is in a position of, of being defensive. What is challenging for him is clarity and truth. That's an understatement. That's crossing him. So he's trying to defend himself from the truth coming out. That's where his mind is at, and that's where his energy is at. Okay? We get justice. So justice is continuing to pursue him. It's at the basis of this reading. And he's trying to, I believe, make the laws so that they protect him. But he can't quite do that anymore so easily. What he is crowned by is the Ace of Cups, and that is tea spilling, as far as I'm concerned. There's a lot of emotion, and I think people will be talking. People will be spilling tea, because there's an emotion behind it of panic or fear. And I think in connection to anything with him, people will turn over on him. I really believe that's what this is indicating. In the recent past, he has the Two of Pentacles. This is juggling things, and it's also extremes and trying to get things to settle down. But there's extremes in his life from one to the other. It's about balance. But I feel like this is extremes. And I guess, yes, that's certainly about balance, because, it's not a balance. And he's being called in on his imbalanced behavior. And it looks like somebody's spilling tea out of, I think, panic. I get the sense of panic with that cup. This is the Three of Swords. So this is something that's going in deeper. I think he's conscious of investigations that are deepening. They're getting closer. They're not just superficial. But there's a feeling here of definitely the law scrutinizing them and their activities more. And that's coming in the near future to do with the truth about the instability that he's been part of and been part of creating. Okay, and I just got to flash a picture of the insurrection, and I got a flash of his dealings with Russia and Russian people that are working as Russian agents, that he's met with, like that one lawyer that he met with, and others he's met with that we'll find out about. So here we have the magician. He wants to be the con man. He thinks he can, I think, trick his way out of this. I think he really thinks really highly of himself and his abilities. He thinks he's clever. Again, this is on Don Jr. In his environment is the Hanged One. This is other people rethinking things. Rethinking the pause in their lives where they are being, I think, dragged down with the Trumps. And I believe that there will be people that also may realize that there's certain details that are pertinent. I just feel like also people feel like us seeing any real justice yet with them seems to be hung up, seems to be delayed. But if so, and it is, I think that it's so that there's more information that they're wanting to get. There's another point of view. There's something more that they're wanting to see or realize. They're waiting in that essence. This is in the environment. I also feel like this is saying when other people he's connected to are threatened with some sort of loss of freedom, or I think that you're going to start seeing things pretty differently. And they're not going to want to, they're going to want to work with the authorities is what I get. They're going to want to see him imprisoned, actually. The hopes and fears of Don Jr. is the Knight of Swords. He hopes that he can go out there with his coked up self, and that's right, I said it, like a maniac. That's what I felt like. I felt like he's just, it's a yucky feeling, but hyped up on stimulants and not really. That's what he's connected to, and not the truth. So he really has the energy of someone that's very sick with addiction, because he is. That's what he's hoping. He thinks he's some big shot that's going to go out there and save the day. But the King of Wands, visits him. This isn't him. But I feel like it's somebody he has to face. Could be an attorney general of some kind. And this is the High Priestess. These are the secret deals, all that secret information. Maybe this is one of his associates that's going to turn on him. And this guy's got secrets. It would indicate if that's so. Oh, yes. And the Fool, there's a new start, but he's also, it's foolish. Foolish. I think the secrets also show a great deal of naivete and high risk. Extremely high risk. And also likely stupidity, foolishness, not well thought out. Okay. Well, this is his father, the Emperor. I feel like this is the tendency to react and have no filter, it's just pure reaction, and it's spontaneous, it's lashing out. Or perhaps at the news against, his family, his son. This has the feeling of investigation, somebody looking into his dark secrets, yes. And Six of Pentacles. I think out of, there's been an ask or request for help in looking at something. Eight of Wands, right? Or is this the five? Five. Fighting. This is conflict. This is people disagreeing. I think this is about who they would get to help him, like a representative, like a lawyer is what I'm getting. Just suddenly came to me. Wow. Okay. So his siblings may be fighting about, or family may be fighting about who to have represent him or be connected to help him. And I see the King of Cups. Again, it just looks like he's trying to fight Biden. This is who he's fighting. This is where that, the King of Cups. They will definitely be looking also into, with these two cards, when I look at that again, the Hermit and the Six of Pentacles, looking at their more secretive alliances, partners that kind of run, I think, the more shady aspect. They're fixers, and other people that do the grunt work. Because they're trying to resist Biden's efforts to bring them to justice. The Biden-Harris administration. Eight of Swords, there is confinement, though, and judgment. So, yes, I think that this shows that Don Jr. will end up in a prison cell. And he will be found to have been deceitful with that Eight of Swords, and with the Judgment, he will be held to account. So I believe he can expect some kind of prison sentence. Dark night of the soul for him, and he's hopeful, the Star. Death. But I guess they're saying, hey, that's the end of your hope, man. You're out. You've, again, just like Ivanka, can't give you that anymore. This is, you're out of options, is what it's saying. You have to endure this ending, this transformation. And we see with the Knight of Wands, there is a great deal, I think, of volatility in him in response to that idea. And here he is in his own reading. So I think he's going to continue to outcry against it and to try to kick up a stink, it really feels like. Because what else? He's a stink bug. Stink bugs probably have done more good for the planet than he has. There will be news coming. He's going to suggest something that's ludicrous, is what I'm getting with this page. Prince of Wands and this Ten of Cups. It is fantastical. It is ridiculous. And it's like he's trying to save his bacon. He's coming up with excuses, is what I basically get. There are his choices that he has made, and the Four of Pentacles. There's the greed. This is what he's held to. And what shows to be the overwhelming truth, his basis at the end of the day. So, then we have the Four of Swords and the Six of Wands. I think there is victory here for the people, and he has to retreat here with the Four of Swords and is in prison. And luckily we don't, we get some peace. King of Swords, his father, is anxious and having a hard time sleeping. This would be Donald Trump. And you can see basically a nervous wreck mentally concerning his son, Donald Jr. Seven of Swords. There we are with more deceptive attempt on his part. But I see the Four of Cups, so I don't see him doing anything about it. I see him sitting there and just like, well, I'm not happy about that. But I don't think there's anything he can do about it. Yeah, more not doing anything about it. Two of Swords, except for it looks to me like a denial. Not, and I don't know if he's like really like denying that he's in trouble, or just like, no, he doesn't belong in there kind of thing. That kind of denial. But it looks like this Two of Swords is about balance again. It's saying this is karma balancing out. So whatever he gets, it's going to be what I think comes as the universe wills in balance. And I feel like this is Letitia James here. I could be wrong, but I do. She's got something for him. It's a subpoena. Hello. Okay, we get the Sun and we get the Ten of Swords. Yeah, he is like going to be exposed. So exposed. People will flip on him like pancakes and popcorn popping. It's just, he's donezo. He is done. Okay, there's your reading for Donald Trump Jr. Just checking in. He also looks like he's on schedule for facing consequences very soon. If you enjoy this content, please make sure to like and subscribe, and double check that you are, and please maybe hit the notifications and definitely the thumbs up. Thank you so much.